Hello everyone and welcome to a bit more of a sit down chat today. We're going to be discussing the forgotten man at Arsenal Football Club. Someone who was once potentially a future Arsenal captain. If you don't know who I'm talking about, Kieran Tierney joined Arsenal from Celtic for 25 million back in 2019. In his early Arsenal career, he was known as the width and the legs on the left-hand side, a phenomenal athlete who had pace and power and a fantastic crossing ability. He could play left back or also left of a back three, but his biggest attribute was those overlapping runs. He was one of Arsenal's standout performers when he first joined, a team that was a bit of a mismatch in terms of shape, organisation and personalities throughout the squad. Tierney was consistent from the off and even played well when Arteta first joined. This made the Scotsman develop into a bit of a fan favourite for the Arsenal, especially in his early career. Unfortunately for Tierney, Arteta changed his style after bringing in Zinchenko. This meant that the left-hand side of Arsenal was more of an inverted side, and Tierney, whilst trying to adapt to that, did fail to sort of play well in that inverted role. And unfortunately, this led to him losing minutes in the side, losing his place to Zinchenko, who really was a revelation when he joined 3 seasons ago. The Scotsman was no longer needed, and whilst minutes were scarce, he went and sought first-team football by getting a loan to Real Sociedad in Spain. Now KT is returning from injury, and Mikel has stated in his recent press conference that Tierney is sharp and will soon be back. With the injuries that Arsenal are currently facing and the change and downturn in form of Zinchenko, the trust could be placed in Kieran Tierney to maybe start a few games this season. And I know that sounds mad, but if you look at it, Arteta has sort of moved his system into playing an inverted fullback, yes, but also fullbacks who can play centre-half and have that rotation. Now, Kieran Tierney, whilst he can't be an inverted fullback, he definitely can be an overlapping fullback who can play centre-back. So, has the system shifted back into Tierney's favour, whereby he could probably start a few games? I think with Tierney, if he gets him fit in time for the Cup, especially the lesser rounds in the FA Cup, and he plays well in those games, then he can find his way back into Arteta's thinking. He's certainly a quality player from what we've seen in his years at Arsenal, and he's very defensively sound. And I think that's something he has ahead of himself over Zinchenko, who seemingly is now out of the manager's thinking. The writing might be on the wall for the Ukrainian. So having that defensive option, who, yes, is a bit limited, but can defend well, over Zinchenko, means that Tierney might be prone to some more minutes this season. The alternative is we get to January, Tierney's got fit again and he goes on loan to Celtic or somewhere like that. But I do think personally that Tierney will leave either way at the end of the season. But if he can get fit and sharp, there's no reason he can't play a few minutes this season. Think back to the Liverpool game where we drew 2-2. Zinchenko was not the preferred to Miles Lewis-Skelly at left-back, mainly because Miles Lewis-Skelly is right-footed, but also you've got to imagine it's because Zinchenko is pretty poor defensively. Whilst he is out of the side at the moment, I don't think that this is a worry at all. Tierney is known to be a model professional. He's well liked within the Arsenal camp, and also he keeps attending games, which is really nice to see. Obviously not being part of the picture, but he keeps still turning up to games. And you just know that as a character, he won't kick up any fuss or bad blood in the Arsenal dressing room. So I don't think he's a worry at all, whilst he has been forgotten. And I do think he could potentially see some minutes this season, more so in cup games. But could he potentially get back into the Arsenal lineup long term? I doubt it, but you never know. Stranger things have happened, especially when you look at the impact he initially had when he joined Arsenal, and also the type of quality player he is. He just needs to stay fit. I think during Arsenal's his spell at the club, injuries have plagued him a little. There was periods of time where he was the first choice left back comfortably and then got injured. So it remains to be seen, but hopefully he can kick on. I am someone who really does like Kieran Tierney and his style of playing a left back, and I hope he does well for the Arsenal. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe. A bit more of a relaxed one today. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.